welcome back. We're not messing around. We're just gonna go right into the interview. Fly. I don't know what to say, man. Congratulations. This was a ridiculous day from you guys. 5 games in 5 hours. Break time drafts, everything. What happened today?
Uh, we just had a good day, I guess. No, it was when you start winning, you get on a good momentum. It kind of keeps snowballing. So I think it was a little bit of that today.
Just kept it going. That's fair. It looked like it. That was a giant snowball effect into that last series. Oh my goodness. I'm sure
Yeah.
I got a lot of questions for you guys. Neff, I'll let you go first.
Well, you broke my heart beating my team here. I want to start with that one. I'm not exactly
Apologies.
pleased with you for that one, but a 3-0, you kept it to be an incredibly short day. I want to ask you what the major difference maker between today and the other days. When um, Panders was saying that he feels like a difference between this team and your last team was you guys have a much higher skill floor than you had in previous years. Do you feel like it's Saberlight's attitude, the fact that you're starting with an offlaner here that are elevating you to such a high level, or is it something else?
I think it's just a work in progress because it's hard to really compare Saber and Nightfall. I think Nightfall is insanely skilled. Like if you guys watch him play, that guy's amazing.
He's a beast.
And Saber has different qualities that he's really good at. So you can't really say the ceiling is like much higher or anything. It's just different. Um, and it's like it has been a work in progress. We've been here boot camping for the major, and I think we're working on a lot of things, and we're getting better every day. And yesterday we got beat, but today we woke up and we kind of learned from it and showed that today.
Humbled yesterday. Well, I am incredibly humbled today. My next question for you is the elephant in the room. It has been a while since we've seen you in one of these BTS Pro Series tournaments. What made you guys decide to play in this one?
So usually it's been a bit tricky because we are sometimes living away from being in the same place all the time. Because the timing kind of lined up for us, we decided to try different things for this year a little bit. Like, yeah, maybe we'll play some online tournaments if the opportunity comes. Just get more matches under our belt, really. We didn't really consider, like we're gonna do our absolute hardest to win the tournament. It was like this is practice going for the major, win or lose. As long as we learn, we're gaining something out of it.
Do you feel like you learned?
I mean, we got some confidence going in right now, so that's good.
Yeah. My last question for you before I pass it over to Canuck is: do you feel like the team environment is different, better underneath Shopify compared to Evil Geniuses? It's still surprising to see you guys under a different name, but obviously you look very good under it.
Yeah, I think we definitely have a honeymoon phase in terms of with the new org, especially. I think, they have treated us really well. Everyone working here in Shopify has been really kind to us, really awesome, and I think we're all very happy to kind of grow together because Rebellion is still very young. So far amazing, honeymoon phase possibly, but I'm really looking forward to the future of Rebellion.
That's awesome.
Awesome. I was kind of curious to ask you about Abed in this series. I mean, it was something we were commenting on there. He managed to go the entire series without a death. Absolutely
did.
ran the show in those. Yeah, he didn't die once in any of those 3 games. And it looked like he came to play. And I know, in uh, in previous tournaments, it's more collaborative team effort. But what was his mindset coming into that? How did you, was he just popping off in the game chat? Like, how are things going on your team comms there?
I mean, he was definitely popping off today. He played only for the KDA. He made sure not to die. And
Make sure not to give you
on
kills either.
yeah, on the primal, he went for the rampage in the end. It was kind of close to giving him a death. So
Yeah.
yeah, the guy is just a KDA player, and that's just the reality of it. So mid laners, they care
Yeah.
about their score. So that was his mindset going in today.
Right on. Cool. And about the tournament in general, I know going through this, you guys dropped 2-0 to Nouns in the previous series, and you dropped a game against 5-Rat 4-Staff. And you mentioned just a moment ago that you were kind of seeing these online tournaments as a bit more practice. What do you feel about like the strength of the NA scene and the other teams around you? Like, how does this season feel compared to different ones?
So I think the biggest difference for sure is not having Quinn around. The king of NA a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it used to be realistically there were like three teams at the top, and then Nouns was just a slight level below. Usually that's how it's been, but Nouns could always beat other teams. Yeah, sorry, Neff, but that's the reality. So with Quinn gone, it feels like now there's really only 3 teams that really can contest each other. But we are starting to see like this, 5-rat 4-staff team, for example. They might just be the 4th one. I think they've been improving. The other teams currently not really a challenge, being honest about it. We'll have to see next season if they improve. But right now it's Nouns, TSM obviously, ourselves, and then 5-rat 4-staff is probably the next one.
Right on.
I could have a follow-up question about 5-rat. Now, did they kind of just catch a lot of teams off guard, you think, here? Because obviously they get Moose back at the tail end of this tournament. Do you think that was like a big improvement for them? Or how did they kind of jump up in the rankings here?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I have no idea what's going on with the roster. I don't remember if they have the same players or like. I think they had Speed, DNM, and Albino. I think those 3 were always on the team.
Yeah.
I think.
That was right.
But yeah, Moose is a great player. He's also one of those like PMA guys. When you play with him in pubs. So I think he's a good addition. I don't know what's his deal with like B8 if he left or not, but I do think he's a good player. And their mid player, I'm not too familiar with. I don't remember if they changed him or not.
He's unofficial, yeah. They had kits, they brought in Red 2, but we
Alright,
don't know.
yeah.
So I got a question.
No idea about that.
Yeah, I got a question about you about the major. So obviously this was like practice for the major. You guys are leaving tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
How excited are you guys for like the Lima Major and competing? Obviously what's going to be a much higher level down there in Lima.
It's really hype. I think it's been a while since we had this good international Dota.
Yeah.
And this is a chance for us to compete against Europe again. So everyone's looking forward to, right? Maybe you kind of wanted to play EG as well, which would have been fun. Maybe in the playoffs if we get there. But it currently feels like Europe is on feeling very good about themselves. Top 3 teams at TI. So it'll be fun. Not just them, obviously the other regions too. But I think everybody knows that Europe is the region to beat. So that's what I'm really looking forward to.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone is super excited just to see how a lot of these teams are going to stack up, like you said, on an international level. Do you think EU is as untouchable as they were like past TI, or has the shuffle post TI kind of made that a little bit more questionable?
So we don't really know too much about the other regions outside of Europe and SA because we don't get to practice against them ever. But I definitely think Europe is still at the top, just from looking at the games. That's what it looks like to me. So yeah, it would not be a surprise to see them doing really well in the groups and then possibly the playoffs. Liquid is looking unstoppable. Entity is there. There's a lot of really good European teams.
Yeah. Can't doubt that. Absolutely. Neff, Canuck, you guys have any other questions here?
I feel like I've taken too much of this man's time. Give him one last day before he's got a flight.
Hey, anyway, man, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us, taking the time for the interview, and obviously a big congrats to you guys on just an absolute beast of a day. Hopefully that momentum carries you guys into the major. So anything that you would like to say before we let you go?
Just shout out to everyone watching and everyone supporting NA Dota. Rebellion, my teammates, my fiance is watching, or maybe watching, I don't know. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Saber Life over here. And yeah, see you guys in the major, whoever's watching. So
absolutely.
Right on. Good luck, man.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your day.